Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the BurtnBurger Show. We are so happy to have each and every one of you lovely people with us here today. Today, we have my cousin Burt with us. Burt, how we doing real quick before we get on to the people that actually matter in this episode?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good because we finally have our second guest on with us today, Mr. iScare. How we doing today, man?
We're doing absolutely fantastic. I'm glad that you guys are doing great.
No, we are doing great. Real excited to have a spoop enthusiast on our show finally. We've been trying to set this up for a little bit with time restraints and Burt being a bitch and everything like that. So the day's finally here, though. So we are glad to finally have you on our show. So first things first, iScare, we gotta ask you with the hard hitting questions. Right off the bat.
Yeah, let's do it.
For sure. So, are you sane?
Am I sane?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't think any sane person, well, first of all, downloads iFunny in the first place. But,
absolutely.
Second of all, posts horror content on iFunny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of my subscribers are sane either.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you post scary stuff, you're always going to go off the deep end at some points because nobody is ever going to believe anything that you post.
For sure.
Especially on a platform like iFunny, you're always going to have people questioning you. Mm-hmm. And so, if I wasn't sane before, I definitely am not now.
They took your innocence away from you, it sounds like.
Yeah, but I mean, what better place?
Exactly.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and that goes right off to the question that I have, because you have to be a bit, fucked in the head like Burt and I here to be on iFunny in the first place, like you said. But, I enjoy, like, my scary movie here and there and stuff like that. But to have a profile surrounded in nothing but horror stuff, man, I mean, that's a whole new type of Ted Bundy. So I just really had to... jump in and ask you. So, yeah, that's my first question for you. I mean, why horror stuff? Like, why did you choose to upload horror to iFunny out of all places?
Okay, well, so first of all, I started the account when I was only 15. I'm 18 now.
Okay.
I started my sophomore year of high school. I've always enjoyed, like, horror-type content stuff, mostly on, like, YouTube and things. I wouldn't find a lot of horror accounts, almost anywhere, let alone iFunny. Any good horror accounts on iFunny have been shut down for years,
Absolutely.
And anytime that you find, like, horror fans find things like that, you eat it up immediately. Like, you go through, you look at all the posts, you subscribe, you're always actively engaging with them. So I finally found, some reliable sources of, like, oh wow, okay, I'm finding some really interesting things from, like, a bunch of different places. What if I can compile them all into one place and then just kind of create my own thing out of something, that I've been searching for? I can give it to other people, and then, make my own community. And so that is what started iScare. It was never really... I never really intended to have as big of a community as I do now, even though it's not, huge. But, when I started, I had, like, 10 subscribers, and I would just share content with them and, talk to them about horror things. And like I said, for years, I've loved horror. I've always eaten it up. And, to be able to bring that to other people, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's, it's some humble beginnings there.
Yeah.
Wanting to, since the stuff scared the shit out of you, you wanted to scare the shit out of other people with it. I totally get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. So, like, with me, with, like, the horror element behind stuff, so it's July now of 2020. So I started getting into horror movies literally a year ago, about this month. So I used to be the biggest fucking pansy when it came to this shit. Like, I used to work at a video rental store when those things used to be a thing. And anytime we would get, like, new movies that were scary, like, I didn't even want to touch the fuckers. Like, like, I wasn't sure if there's some bad juju on them or what. So I was absolutely terrified. And then I started dating this girl that really liked horror movies, and she slowly, popped my cherry with horror movies. So So then I immediately got a pretty big fascination with them, I guess. I can't watch them by myself, unfortunately. I have to have my 12-year-old brother sit there and hold my hand while we watch it, because I can't do it alone. But I don't know what it is about the horror element behind things. It's not like I'm like really into that shit, like where I see a demon and I want to jerk off to it or anything.
Yeah, right.
But I find it just really fascinating because it talks about shit that a lot of I guess general media like doesn't go. And I don't know, I find the storylines behind a lot of these things so fascinating.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. When I was in elementary school, like I think maybe I've just always had this fascination with scaring the shit out of people because, when I was in elementary school, I kind of had like unlimited internet access. My parents really did not care, unsupervised. So, I would find these scary stories, like pictures of UFOs and whatever. It was all fake, so fake. But I would print it out like with my printer and bring it to school in like second grade to show all the other people, like all my friends. I'd be like, look at this, look at this story, look at these pictures of these aliens, I never really made that connection until now that I'm basically just doing the exact same thing now, but to a couple thousand people.
So like, how do you share this stuff all the time and I guess not bring your work home with you? Because like I see one thing and it'll keep me up. We'll get into it later, but I watched a scary movie and I think I'm pretty traumatized. This is gonna be bad.
Yeah, don't even. Oh man, like trust me. If you guys think you guys were pansies at some point, it's honestly just like oversaturation. Constantly dealing with it. It's not like it gets any less scary, but you learn to deal with it more. If that makes sense. Like, trust me, when I first started getting into this stuff, and mostly like. The scary stories necessarily wouldn't get to me, but it was like the scary horror posts of people breaking into houses, like actual real life criminals, stuff like that. I would read that, I remember on iFunny, it must have been like 2012, 2013, I saw a post about a serial killer who would use the skin of his victims to make like leather gloves and clothes.
Oh God.
Yeah, I saw a post.
Okay.
I saw a post about that. And I slept with the lights on that night.
Yeah, I'm probably going through a similar routine.
Yeah, Burt's still doing that. You were like, I don't know, 12 years old, 11 years old when that happened. Burt's 21 and still doing that shit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's always weird, though, to, like, actually show an interest in horror movies. Like, I know a lot of people, like the cheap scares, and some people have told me, oh, yeah, it's like going on a roller coaster and stuff like that. And I'm like, I could give a shit less about being actually spooked. Like, jump scares and shit, I hate that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I hate that. I'm like, get that shit out of here. But the actual, like, spooky stuff, like, I find that shit so cool. It scares the fuck out of me. Mm-hmm. But...
Right.
I tell Burt that I always, after a movie's over, I'll pull up the Wikipedia and I'll read through the entire plot to make sure that I didn't.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. See, Burt? Take that, you piece of shit. You acted like I had Down syndrome or something because I was doing that.
But no, I guess I get it. I try and...
I completely understand why it's weird. But, like, I do that with, not only horror movies, but, fucking everything entertainment-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I try and get that behind me as fast as possible. Like, I'm even like, oh, shit, I'm gonna have to talk about this for, like, an hour today.
Yeah. I gotta bring those memories back. Bert's trying to repress them as hard as possible.
I know I have to analyze it and be able to regurgitate it to you guys. I'm like, oh, dear, no, please. Mm-hmm. But,
yeah.
I think I can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be so bad. Like, I am so proud of myself for how far I've came with horror things because I was so bad. So bad. I remember one time when I was a little kid and I was playing like some Fairly Odd Parents game on my Game Boy. And the way Timmy Turner crawled up a ladder scared me. On a fucking Game Boy. Okay. I was like, wow, that's kind of spooky how he's crawling up. And it was like a 2D game. It wasn't 3D by any means. Yeah. It was just his back. And for some reason, that freaked me out as a kid. So,
okay.
Yeah. no. So I've come a long ways. I'm very proud of myself. So
Yeah.
You know, something that I realize now more than anything, I think it's because, you know, I've been around it so long that, like, when things actually do, like, scare me, they hit hard. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like, I've never really experienced chills up until, you know, like, later into the creation of this account. Because, you know, there's always kind of a drought for, like, good horror content, especially to post on iFunny. So, I'd say, like, out of, like, 5 posts that I do, probably 2 or 3 of them are horror, and then the other 2 are just, like, historical or just something random.
for sure.
But,
Okay.
you know, like I said, the things that I, like, do find that truly scare me, sometimes I post, like, stories that I find online or green texts of, you know, scary experiences that people go through. You know, I read something like that, and if it, like, it takes a turn that I don't expect, or it's something that I've experienced, you know, something similar, I get the chills, and I'm like, ooh, I have to, like, set down my phone and sit down for a second. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I didn't like that one too much. But
Oh, no.
Boy,
yeah.
that sounds like my cousin.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
he'll read the first 4 words and set his phone down. Like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't finish it. I don't have the guts yet.
I remember a friend of mine showed me a picture. We were talking at her house, and she showed me a picture. So in this picture, I took it in a closet at a community theater that she used to be involved with.
Sure.
And so she was like, I took this picture, and in the background, you can sort of, like, make out a human head and a face. And it's probably the freakiest thing I've ever, like, actually recorded.
No.
And so me being like, oh yeah, come on, show me, like, you know, it's so cool, whatever. So I see it. I don't see anything in the background. So I have her zoom in, and then she turns the brightness up, and I see a face. It's clear as day. And I saw it, and I about shit my pants. That one messed me up. That was about a year ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I remember one time, let's see, spooky things that have happened. I don't know if I've had any, like, real life experiences with anything spooky. Knock on wood, but
Yeah.
I haven't had anything like that, but I've had, like, stupid shit, like movies and stuff scare the shit out of me. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie Signs with Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix in it. It's like some M. Night Shyamalan movie or something like that. And it was basically about aliens. These aliens come into this house, and I don't really remember too much because I was a kid, but I remember, like, they fucking hated water. So, like, if you sprayed water on them, they'd start, like, bleeding all over the place and shit. So,
Okay.
like, they're basically like a little chihuahua with a spray bottle. Like, they fucking hate water. So, I just remember that movie terrified me as a kid, like, what those aliens look like. And I remember I was really young, so I was, like, still sleeping, like, with my grandparents in their bed or something. I wasn't like
Right.
24, you know, sleeping with my grandparents, but, you know, I was like 5 years old or something. I just remember crying, like, asking my grandma, like, is it morning yet? Can it be morning yet? Like, I don't want to fucking sleep right now. This shit's awful. Like, I don't want to sleep right now. And shit like that, like, I was just terrified. Like, that was making my body shake. And now I really want to see the movie because I've, like, seen trailers and it looks pretty fucking dope. So
Okay.
Yeah, that, like,
yeah.
you know, it's when you run a horror account, especially for as long as I have, people just kind of make you out to be some sort of, like, horror goblin that, like, lives in the shadows and is like, murder. But, like,
Yep.
you know, I think anybody that's into horror, I think, will tell you that at some point they were scared shitless of almost anything, because that is definitely how I was. I remember probably the first thing that started getting me into horror was aliens. That's what I was really fascinated with, was, like, UFOs and aliens.
Okay.
A family member told me what a UFO was, and I would not shower for, like, 3 weeks because I was scared that an alien was going to snatch me out of my bathroom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I get weird stuff like that. Like the blinds just moved a certain way. You're like, gotta open them and look. I gotta make sure there's nothing back there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely with that. I used to have a light, a motion sensor light on my porch.
Oh no.
And yeah, so my old bedroom used to be right next to, my porch light. And so all the time in the middle of the night it would go off. And like I know that it was bugs, like logically just insects flying around the sensor, but I would always, every time it would come on, I would just freeze and just lay there for like 3 minutes until it turned off.
Oh no.
Yeah, thinking the demons are like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and if you don't move, they can't see you, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was gonna say something along those lines. I can't really remember where I was going with it. I should probably stop digging myself a hole for how much of a pussy I used to be.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Yeah, we all expect it from Burt, but me and iScare, we have to be the tough guys here. We gotta be the people
We are
Burt
the
looks
manly
up
men.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, speaking of like iFunny and stuff like that, do you have like any plans with iFunny like for the future or social media like in general? Like I know one time you said something about wanting to get verified on iFunny, which would be really dope if that happened. But I was just wondering like if you had any plans with the iFunny account or any other social media accounts that you might have.
Yeah, I do have a very detailed plan in place. Whether that plan will succeed or not, I have no idea. But basically,
Sure.
What I'm trying to do at the moment is once I hit 15,000 on my account, I'm at, I think, 13.5 thousand right now.
Okay.
So when I hit 15,000, I'm hoping to open up an Instagram account, and then I'll make a business email, and then hopefully see where Instagram can take me, because if I'm lucky enough, like I said, people, if you can open up an exclusive horror account, people will eat that shit up so fast, because,
Yep.
especially on, like, social media, good horror content is very hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm never planning on leaving iFunny, because iFunny is, always my roots. I started on iFunny because I didn't want people to know it was me. Like, I didn't want people to figure out that I ran the account.
Yep.
And, ever since then, no matter, how fucking terrible it is sometimes, it's still my home. So no matter where I go and I branch off to, hopefully I'll start a YouTube account one day, branch out to all social medias. iFunny is still the primary center. I'd like to get verified, but like I said earlier, most of my content, or at least it used to all be things that I would find and then compile together. Now it's about half and half of, fun things I find, like videos and stuff. Obviously those aren't mine, but I've been creating more and more of my own content, and sometime really soon I want to just completely start making all of my own content and get original stuff. But I sometimes post things that, I don't sugarcoat things in the comments when I'm talking to people. I'm not rude either. I'm not like an asshole. but I think a lot of what iFunny mods want is like the poster child of like, look, our app isn't a dumpster fire. So,
Okay.
so, I'm not, like, I'd love to be verified, but I'm not going to change my content or my attitude in any way to make sure that I do.
That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I was in the process of trying to get verified too on iFunny, and I wasn't too sure if like somebody of my content would get verified, but because I looked up something on like what the verifying process looks like, and they said like you have to post original content, and I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. 'Cause, I go through so many verified accounts, like and I'm like, okay, so here's a porn account. Pretty sure they're not the ones taking these gifs of Alexis, Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's a bunch of bullshit. So, I don't really know what's gonna happen. It's been crazy, the adventure. First of all, I want to say it's a fucking delight to hear somebody passionate about iFunny as much as me. Like,
I feel you.
everybody's like, I would be like, do you have iFunny? And they're like, what the fuck do I have iFunny? I know I'm not 13 years old.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I
"Hey."
deleted that shit 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it's been I don't know. I love iFunny. I've been on it since I was in 7th grade, and I've completed graduate school now. So I've been on it for a long motherfucking time.
Yeah.
And just like you have been. So and this account I have specifically the what the fuck fun facts account is like 6 years old or something like that. I started that one when I was a senior in high school, and 2018, so 4 years later, I finally got my first feature, and I like was eating Fruit Loops and almost choked to death on them because they don't fucking really make it that big of a deal when you get featured.
Oh no.
Like, you're just sitting there, and all of a sudden you have like 3,000 notifications, and you're like, huh, my phone must not have updated for the past 4 years or something. And you scroll through, and then it just says, you freaking did it. And I'm like, oh, I thought I'd get like a message or a badge. I don't know. And then a year later, I got my second one. And that was cool and all. And then I was on like a stink case for a while. Nothing was happening. And then I've had 32 this year. So
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's literally how it happens. Like with my account, I like I said, I've been doing it for 3 years. Probably more like a year and a half, to be honest with you, because
Sure.
I took really long breaks at some points. Like I started my sophomore year, probably posted for like 3 months, and then dipped for like 6 or 7 months. Came back, posted again, left for like 4 months. And because I just finished my senior year, so I just graduated like a month ago.
Okay.
So this entire year I was really busy, college stuff.
yeah.
And I really wasn't revisiting the account because I had like 4,000 or 5,000, I think. And then as soon as COVID hit and we went into quarantine, I think the day after my state started the stay-at-home order, I was like, you know what, there's no better time to restart the account than now.
For sure.
And at that point, I had 2 features, I think, and it had been about 3 years. And, after that, it was just bang, 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 feature after feature. It really is just getting lucky, because as soon as they notice you, then they just keep featuring you and giving your account attention over and over again. Because most of my progress has been in the past 3 or 4 months.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's weird because I remember I was going through your account, and I remember you saying something like that, like most of your love came from COVID specifically.
Yeah.
So, iScare's over here thankful for COVID and everything probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my stuff started taking off like in January and stuff. So it was a bit before COVID, but it was crazy. Like they would feature stuff like on like 4 days in a row, and then sometimes it would be like 2 in one day, and then other times it would be shit
same.
that I posted like over a month ago. Like the iFunny fucking monkeys are like going through my profile and reading shit. So it's crazy how it works out, and it's like the only place that I have any kind of audience, because here at BurtnBurger, it takes a select person to want to subscribe to us. So, it's a slow grind here, but this is something we really enjoy doing, just like I enjoy posting content on iFunny. So, I asked you, Scare, what your plans were for the iFunny thing, and I don't really have too many plans for iFunny for me specifically. Like, I just post random facts. Like, I just go to their website, download them, and post them. That's all I do. And I just mainly use that platform to advertise the show at this point. So
Yeah.
That's about all I can do. Like, I've literally gone through my subs and messaged each of them and like handfuls saying, please fucking subscribe to BurtnBurger.
I mean, it helps to have a themed account for sure, because I mean, anybody on iFunny, can start posting memes and then be successful. But as soon as you try to move that platform anywhere else, they're not going to follow you, because they can find that same content anywhere else on any other platform. And so I think where I'm fortunate is that there aren't as many people posting the same things that I post. And so I have a very loyal fan base on iFunny. And though they might not follow me wherever I go, if I do, branch out to other social medias, I think enough of them will follow me to kind of give me a head start, and then the rest will kind of come from their own communities. And then that's the other thing is if you do plan on branching out, the communities are going to be completely different.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Yeah, absolutely.
you kind of have to have your own persona for every, platform that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And iFunny, for sure, you have to, holy shit, you have to have a pretty extreme personality, but,
to stand out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, me and Scare, we make our money off of people like you, Burt. So
Yeah. Yeah.
people that eat paint chips and stuff. So
a
those
good
are
hobby.
the people that we do. Yeah, I mean, I do the same thing. So,
Yeah.
but
Unless
but
quantity.
exactly. So, Scare, I know I told you a little bit about our show here. Every week, Burt and I, we suggest a movie to one another that we have to watch by the next podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple that we watched during the week, and Burt and I are going to talk about those for a minute. Feel free to chime in if you know anything or feel like calling one of us a pussy or something like that. So
Absolutely.
it'd probably be nice. Yeah, it might be nice to hear a third party here,
For
see
sure.
what their opinions are. So let's just keep going with the horror element here, Burt, and fill everybody
God.
in on your experience.
So, last week, I guess I flaunted a little bit. I taunted old Burger here into giving me a scary movie. So I have been dreading it all week, and I watched it this morning. My movie was Sinister. Have you
Ooh.
you seen that iScare?
I have not, but I know a lot about it.
Okay. Well, last week I went over exactly what I guess makes me tick, or I guess what makes me shit my pants in this case. But so pretty much the one thing I absolutely hate is like depictions of like scary shit that I can just recreate in my head.
Mhm.
So basically, your profile, iScare.
Yeah, like I saw your profile picture, I'm like, ooh. Yeah, don't know if I'm going to be able to go through this.
Yeah.
But
I asked Burt, I'm like, let's have this guy on. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to trust you because I'm not reading his shit.
Yeah.
He goes through, see a spooky pic. He's like, done. No.
Yeah.
I
So-
hate that picture. I hate it.
Well, that makes me feel better.
It scares the shit
But-
out of me.
Yeah. So the whole point behind Sinister is it's like there's these weird string of cases where there's some unknown serial killer. Okay. Deep breaths. And so there's
Having
this guy
PTSD.
I know, this guy's trying to report on it, and I was like, damn, is that Doctor Strange? Like they got Mr. Cumberbatch in here. Well, it looks like him, but so that was comforting,
Kinda.
He was my
Kinda.
rock through the movie, I was just
Well, what a
just reading
bad
there.
person to be your rock. That really ended well for you, too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. Oh my god. It's like the one thing. Yeah, okay. I don't like the things that are like real life adjacent, right? So if it's like aliens or I guess like crazy over the top monsters, like that doesn't get me. But like the dude in the weird mask,
Mhm.
like that. And I already, like, my bedroom's in the basement, right? So it's dark and eerie down here. So like going upstairs to go to the bathroom and everything, I'm looking around the corner and I'm just wiping the beads of sweat off my forehead. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was like even after I mentioned that at the end of the show, you're like, "Oh, Burt, you fucked up." The
Yeah.
Sinister it was pretty bad.
Yeah. So one thing with my cousin here, Scare, you have to realize is he is either super dramatic or no emotion whatsoever. So he's really not playing up the situation very well, in which he got assigned Sinister. So before we dive into the movie a bit more, I really want to step back and talk about how much of an asshole he was last week on the show, because he's leading this small detail out. So I know my cousin is terrified of scary movies. He's gonna say, oh, this doesn't really scare me that much, or nothing scares me, is what he told me the other day, which is fucking hilarious.
There's a big asterisk there. Okay.
So
big
this
asterisk.
bitch assigns me he assigns me the most like if iFunny made a movie and how bad it would be, that's what I get every week. And he knows I hate this shit. He knows I hate it. And he finally I hit the tipping point. And I'm like, and he assigned me Monty Python? Yeah, Monty Python and Brian's song.
The Life of Brian. Yeah.
The Life of Brian, yeah. Holy shit, I've never watched a more terrible movie in my life. I sat there and I'm like, and I was legitimately getting pissed off with this guy. So, I'm not going to jump too far into it because we have a whole episode of me just railing Burt about this movie. Yeah. So, with me bitching about a movie that he thought was, basically the fucking Bible of movies, he's getting pissy with me. He's starting to give me a little attitude. And I can tell he's getting a little pissy. So I say, well, fuck you then. You got to watch Sinister. And he goes, okay.
Yeah, I figured, your word's law. First suggestion, bam. I was just taking it on the chin.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But then my pride was in question. I'm like, well, cool. Guess we're watching Sinister.
Yeah, and I had iScare. I had a totally different movie planned for him. I had it all out and everything, and I was getting ready to say his movie, but he was like talking shit. So right there on the spot, I just threw out, fine, you're watching Sinister, as a complete joke and sarcasm. And he goes, okay. So
Oh, man.
I took one of the scariest movies that I've personally seen that is like legitimately spooky and genuinely horrifying, and assigned it to him. And, he acted like a big badass for it. So seeing him get PTSD and hyperventilating and, I bet she's pale as a ghost right now. It makes Daddy smile a little bit here to see that.
Yeah.
Way to be bold, though. I mean, yeah. Way to just take it and run with it. Mad respect.
Absolutely.
Like, that entire movie, frame to frame to frame, was nothing but imagery. Mm-hmm. Like the whole thing, it's like, it was terrible. Painting scenes and all that, it's absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it was genuinely a very spooky movie. So I fucking loved it. I mean, I was scareder than hell, but I fucking loved it. And
it was kind of cool the way it all wrapped up, but
it was really cool. Yeah, no, I mean that end scene though was really scary with the little girl and the kids on the TV, and
that was probably the most mundane part of the entire movie. Like, I was fine with that. The little kids did nothing for me.
Well, just how they're just staring at you and they're turning their heads to the side like a fucking dog when it hears you have a treat for him or something. And
yeah, that was maybe my most comfortable part of the whole movie. That
girl,
dude in the long hair, nope. I mean, I got long hair, but that dude in the mask, oh no.
Okay, I'm glad you weren't like, well, he has long hair like me, therefore I'm not scared of him.
Yeah, no, he was the worst part. No, little kids don't really.
Mr. Boogie, I think his name was Mr. Boogie, something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna mention. And the whole like scary part of it, right? I'm just waiting for it. I'm like, it's okay. This is just a serial killer movie, right? Like, it's just a serial killer. It's okay.
Sure.
Right? I'm like, obviously. Yeah, and I'm like, it's okay. It's cool. Like, I was just playing it out in my head. I'm like, this obviously wouldn't happen here, right? And then the whole thing ends up being hinged on if the youngest child of the family like sees the film, then they are like they get possessed or whatever.
Yep.
And I guess I was wondering when I would bring this up, but I guess now's the best time. But overall, I don't think I'm going to be too scared of this movie because the likelihood of that happening in my family, my youngest brother has special needs, so him coming at me with a fucking axe, I think would be more funny than scary.
Yeah, no, my little brother does too.
So that doesn't mean... yeah, so, I mean, there you guys go. You got something to bond over, but at the same time, that doesn't mean the demon's going to get special needs when he goes in them.
That would be awesome. Watch that big dopey motherfucker. Yeah.
What a fucking stupid
Oh my
argument.
god.
No,
God
he's
damn.
he's not allowed to see the movie either. I thumbs downed it on Netflix. If that comes in recommended, I'm locking myself.
You're not letting your brother watch it. He's coming over, like, get the fuck away.
Yeah.
Don't watch the film.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna look at him different. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know, like, the thing that, like, spooks me out, too, is, like, when you're just staring at, like, a spooky image. Like, the creepiest thing to me was when the family was hanging from the tree, and then you see the little girl come out from the tree and grab her dad's feet and just, like, twirl around on him like it's a swing.
Yeah, that
Do you
was
remember
fine.
that
I
part?
didn't like when you saw like the dude in the mask in the background. I didn't like that.
Oh,
Her hanging
fuck
off of
that.
him, like, whatever.
Fuck that. Yeah, okay, so Burt sees, dead people hanging from a tree. He's like, what the fuck, everybody. He sees a spooky
That didn't
mask,
bother
and he's
me.
like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I kind of understand that because like there is so much like violence and just graphic shit that you can find in horror movies, but I like the subtle things, like when you're looking like in the background you see things moving around or just like the more realistic, the more I enjoy it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's probably not too realistic to see like a 6-year-old grab her dad's feet while he's hanging from a tree and lift her feet up and just start twirling around on him like it's a fucking swing set.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like the little kids are just kind of like the sense of wholesomeness. Like, I guess she was possessed and fucked out of her mind, but like...
There was no wholesome in that. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's not a lot of wholesome in someone that cuts their dad open and starts drawing on the walls with his blood and shit. That's not normal. I don't know what the
That
fuck
was
you
pretty
guys
bad.
do.
But
I
the
mean,
vehicle, if
it
the vehicle
depends.
was anything else, it's the vehicle, right? Like, if it was an adult, I would probably be frightened, but kids just aren't creepy. I don't know why.
See, no, I'm like the opposite. Like, if a fucking adult did it, I'm like, okay, this guy just fucking... Oh my gosh, you're pissing me off. You're so fucking stupid. Holy shit. So if you see a kid run after you with a knife, you're like, fuck that kid. But if you see a man run after it, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was kind of like the dog. I'm like, well, obviously you just, like, kick it or something. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck? What's it gonna do? I mean, I guess dogs are terrifying, but I guess knives are terrifying too.
Was there a dog scene in there? I don't really...
Yeah, the dog was snarling at him, and then, like, it showed the picture of all the little kids in the back. I'm like, okay. That part was a little weird, but...
Okay.
But no.
Well, it's also not nighttime yet, so, I mean, this is the same guy, iScare, that couldn't fall asleep because he had to watch Swiss Army Man with Daniel Radcliffe in it, so...
That movie's terrifying.
Yeah,
Give me some
that's the movie
suggestions.
where a guy has a boner that works as an antenna, and he can shit his pants and fly, and, he's a Swiss Army Man, so...
Oh shit! It's perfect for iFunny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sounds like all of my subscribers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, it's not nighttime yet, Burt. So, I would like to hear how you do tonight with Mr. Boogie. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
the blinds
sending
are
you
getting-
pictures of his mask.
Oh, that's the other thing. My brother runs around the house and always says boogie. Like, he
Okay.
calls everybody a boogie.
Okay.
So that's probably not
Yup.
going to be good.
He must have saw it in a reflection or something. He's fucked. He
Yeah, I'm
is fucked. Well, according to Burt, though, he has special needs, so the demon can't do anything with him. So that's their weakness.
Yeah, no, I mean, kids are horrifying. Like the stories and video. Like, okay, there's one of those videos that really did fuck me up. Was these two little girls? They're sitting at this little plastic picnic table in their house, and they're living room, kitchen, whatever. And their mom is recording them, you know, just like playing around, having fun. And then one of the girls, like, starts pointing behind the other girl into like the darkness of the hallway. And the mom's like, "What do you see? Like, what is it?" And so finally, the girl that is facing opposite of the girl that's pointing, she turns around, stares into the hallway for about 5 seconds, and then just starts screaming. And then they both start like bawling and running up to the mom. And see, it's stuff like that where you're forced to imagine what's happening is terrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
I don't like
that one messed me up for a while.
See, like, I feel like with me personally, that wouldn't do too much to me. Like, because iFunny must have, you know, really tainted me here, because then I would expect like a guy in a huge banana costume to come out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I would just like you get terrified and they don't show you it, but it's like, oh, you know, it's just a guy, you know, sitting down there fucking playing the accordion, snorting whipped cream or something. I don't know, but it's like that one video where a guy says, I don't know what he says. He's like, "Jared, are you here?" Or Michael, I think it was. "Michael, is that you?" And he goes around a corner in this room, this like big like alien looking motherfucker turns around and stares at him, real spooky looking guy. And the guy goes, "Nope, that's not Michael," and just walks away.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and then he just walks away. So I don't know. iFunny, I think, really screwed me up. So the things that should terrify me really probably don't. I don't know, but that was sinister. There is a second one, Burt, so we might have to watch that one together.
Yeah, that could be better.
That I'm interested to see where it goes. Ethan Hawke, I believe, is the actor in there. He's not coming back in the second one. I'm sure you know why, Burt, but
yeah.
he very much ain't gonna be in the second one. But
no.
So now we go to the Burt spectrum of things, Scare, and we talk about the movie that I had to watch. And I ended up watching Game Over Man. Have you seen that one?
I've never heard of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. I mean, this is Burt for you. So, he's this is usually, you know, this isn't too far off for Burt. Yeah.
Right.
So Game Over Man, it has Adam Levine, not Devine. Adam Levine or Devine? Is it Devine?
No, it is Devine, yeah.
It is Devine. Okay, Adam Levine from Maroon 5 is not in this movie.
Damn it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's the other. What the fuck is it? Levine or Devine?
It's Devine or Divine or something.
Divine.
It's the main characters are the three from Workaholics. If you've seen that, the crazy curly hair dude. Yeah.
Anyways,
guys.
I mean, I had very low expectations going into this. Again, literally, like when I was getting ready to play the movie, it showed like a building on fire, and the fire was in the shape of a marijuana leaf. So I'm like, come the fuck on. I was talking to Tater, Burt, and I was like, I'm just not having fun with this anymore. Like, this is just stupid. And I muscled through it, and I have to say it's probably the best suggestion you've had so far.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No. Wow. If we're not including Tiger King, I think that's its own beast in itself.
Literally, yeah.
But no, I actually really enjoyed the movie, and I was actually able to really laugh, and I thought the story and how they brought it to life was really really
fun.
good. So now, with that being said, it was still fucking stupid as hell. There was Scared. There was so much dick in this. There was so much Peter in this movie. Oh my goodness. Like, there was wieners getting chopped off. There was a guy squeezing his while he was pretending to hang himself. There was all sorts of wiener in this movie. So, this is Burt's comedy for you, and he forced me to watch this. So, this is something I wouldn't do on my own time. But if you can get past the Peters, and if you can, I don't know, think a little bit of my internet shitting the bed. What a weird part to shit the bed.
I thought it was me for a second. I was like, oh fuck, I'm about to lose connection.
Start talking about wieners and Charter cuts you off.
Yeah.
The forbidden subject. Oh,
Yeah.
Not having any of that.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch of Winky in this movie.
Right.
You guys heard that part, right? That was important.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, other than that, no, I mean, I really did like it. There were some really funny parts in it. There were some really disgusting, gross, fucking stupid, autistic fucking parts in this movie as well that I absolutely fucking despised and hated watching it. I saw a guy eat another guy's ass, and the guy, like, pulled his head off. He's like, okay, enough. And he's like, I'm not done, and goes right back into doing it some more. So, I didn't like that. That shit grosses me out. Yeah. No, I mean, you can touch yourself to that all you want, Burt, but that ain't my kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, other than that, no, I really did like, I really did like it. It was enjoyable.
That's good.
It was like the real, like, subtle humor that usually gets me, I guess. Like when we play Cards Against Humanity, you know, like, these stupidest cards I don't care about, Burt. Like,
Right.
They don't make me fucking smile.
Yeah.
But, like, something really, like, name something that's chewy, and then someone puts down rubber gloves. Like, you know, that makes me smile. So, just like there's this part where Adam Devine was like, yo, yeah, your boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And the girl's like, he's not my boyfriend. He's like, okay, you're single. What's up?
Oh, yeah.
While she's holding a fucking gun at him. Like,
Right.
and he's trying to fucking get in her pants. Like, that kind of shit makes me laugh. Like, that super, super subtle stuff that isn't supposed to be, like, the main
Hard hit
punchline. Yeah.
Right.
The hard-hitting stuff, the main punchlines were ass, stupid,
Right.
dumb, hated it. And, you know, the thing is, Tater's a really good friend of my Scare, by the way. So I talk about him a lot on the show. You would know if you were subbed to the BurtnBurger podcast. But anyways,
oh hell yeah.
No, he likes the same kind of stupid humor that you like, Burt.
Yeah.
He really enjoys it, and he's like, "Oh, that movie's bad. You won't like it. We ended up turning it off." And I'm like, "Oh
Probably
no,
all the drugs.
oh no." If Tater turned this fucking movie off because it was so bad, I mean, we're looking at something worse than Sausage Party. We're looking at something worse than The Dictator or Borat or whatever. You know, those. I'm like, okay, this is not bad, but I really enjoyed it. So, Tater did say this part was really funny, and he described it to me. He's like, so when you see this part, you know, just know that was funny. And then it happened, and I'm like, that wasn't funny at all.
No.
No.
I guess we're all out of touch.
Yeah, no, every
My
single one of us here just doesn't get it. So,
Holy crap.
but you know, I thought this was better than Shot Caller. I thought this was better than Den of Thieves. It was certainly better than
Paradise PD.
Paradise PD and Brian's Tale or whatever that stupid ass movie was called.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, those are our takes on our movies from last week. Usually what we do is we give each other another movie this week, and we have to watch it by the next episode. But I reached out to iScare ahead of time and asked him if he had any spooks for us to watch, and we would just talk about them in next week's episode. So I guess that forces Scare to come back and listen to us if he really wants to.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Know what we thought of his suggestions. But yeah, so this week iScare is going to give Burt and I a video suggestion, and if we have seen it, we'll just let you know. And maybe I'm sure you got a couple in your bag of sleeves, bag of tricks. There we go, bag of sleeves.
There you go.
What a fucking moron. This is what happens when I'm around Burt too much. Knowing you, I'm sure you got a whole arsenal of spooky stuff for us to check out. So well, the only rule is we can't have seen it before, so it's no big deal if you do give one that we've seen, but we'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure Burt hasn't seen any, so you should be good there.
Oh, that's
so.
Oh man, I got a field day with this one.
So Scare, if you want to give us our movies, and we'll watch them by our next episode.
Okay, so here we go. So for Burger, okay. So let me just disclaim this really quick. And
Sure.
Okay.
this is a very unpopular opinion with a horror account, but I don't like horror movies.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think a lot of them are just really cheesy and not well
Yes.
thought out at all.
Right.
Mhm.
However, I think they're getting a lot better recently. Like within the past 3 years,
Okay.
they're getting a lot more authentic and well thought out. These two are technically not horror movies, but at the same time they are. They're more disturbing than they are scary.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's what I like.
And I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this. So for Burger, I have Gummo, Gummo.
UMMO. Haven't
Okay.
seen it. Nope. Haven't even heard of it.
Perfect. That's perfect. I think
Beautiful.
you're gonna love that one. I think,
Awesome.
or you're gonna hate it, which is even better.
Cool. I'm excited.
Okay.
And then
I'm excited.
for Burt, I have Dogtooth,
Oh,
which I think
okay.
you are absolutely gonna hate that movie.
Oh,
Good. Good.
Lovely.
Good shit.
Lovely.
All right. Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. That. There we go. Wow. What are some good suggestions here? I haven't even heard of either of these. I was a little nervous that I would have seen these, but no.
You're gonna watch Saw and Saw 2.
Yeah.
I tried to be as obscure as possible. I also didn't
Yeah.
want to give you like shit movies.
Okay.
Sure. Well, that is so good to hear. For once, I didn't want to give you a shitty fucking movie. Boy, that's the first
Yeah, I
time
mean, I
I've
totally
heard
forgot what was going on.
this.
Yeah, because I didn't even fucking figure a movie out. Thanks for
You-
coming in clutch, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay, sweet. Do I have your permission to watch Gummo with my baby brother? Are you okay with that?
Oh, how old is he?
He's 14 now.
Oh, oh, absolutely. I think. Oh, that's like the perfect age. That's like
Oh, God.
that's enough to traumatize him, but not like
Good.
let him piss the bed. That's perfect. That's
Perfect.
great.
Yeah. Okay, good, because I would have a very hard time watching this by myself, I think. So,
Okay.
Are you looking into it right now?
I haven't yet. I was going to do just a quick Google search just to see what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to, Burt, or
Oh,
or not.
interesting.
Doesn't
Yeah.
completely up to you guys. Doesn't matter. Whatever.
okay.
I just as soon as you said 2 horror movies, I racked in my brain, and these 2 I knew for sure. Choosing which one for who was so easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably just because of Burger. I know.
Yeah.
For like Gummo fits you perfectly, I think, in the weirdest way.
Okay.
Sure.
And
We'll see.
now I'm just really excited because I know that Burt gets scared easily.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, no, we'll see.
Okay.
Lovely.
Is it a 1997 American drama film?
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yep, just about.
Okay. The events of a tornado while disturbing home movie images play. Perf. Good shit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to know
Oh,
about mine
boy.
yet. Gotta deal with one scary movie
Burt
at a
needs to
time.
prepare himself. He needs to take a breather and a nap.
Oh, I turned all the lights on in my basement, made a fresh cup of coffee for Sinister, and it was not enough. So I'm gonna get the LEDs
Oh,
strapped to
man.
my forehead. I'm ready.
No, I get
Yeah.
that way with horror games. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh
I-
man, we were
with-
gonna
with-
ask you about that.
with horror games, I have to be streaming it on Discord, and I have to have at least 3 people there watching it. I can't do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. See, now with us, we just have to be extremely intoxicated.
Yup.
Yeah, that's how we deal with that.
See, that also works.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a picture of a guy eating a bowl of spaghetti in a bathtub while someone does his hair.
Yeah, exactly. That's as I said, it's perfect for you.
Sure.
You know.
Sounds like a normal Tuesday.
It sounds like he's combining like your stupid movies, Burt, with my horror movies here, because this looks pretty fucked. This guy has like big ass bunny ears on and everything. Oh boy, this should be
this is
fun.
gonna be lovely.
Oh man,
I'm definitely gonna come back. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm
excited. Perfect. All right. Well, my brother and I will get on that momentarily. So, but yeah, no, dude. We're starting to get kind of towards the tail end of our show here. So we did have a couple of things that we wanted to just talk to you about, just to get a more well-rounded picture of you, I guess. So
yeah, for sure.
Horror stuff is a big part of your life, obviously, and it's something that you spend a lot of time researching and posting and things like that. So what are some other things that you do besides the horror shit? Do you have a life outside of the horror world, or?
Oh no, absolutely not. I am just a professional iFunnier. I wake up every morning. I strip completely naked throughout the entire day in my basement. I huff some paint, and I open iFunny, and then I just go crazy.
Okay.
No.
You want to know something? I am like 100% positive our last guest said something about huffing paint. Pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you know,
Wow.
I just huff paint and get right, sit down for my YouTube channel. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
You got a good taste in
Alrighty.
guests.
We are picking out some good ones.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm an actor. That's what
Okay.
that's what I'm going to college for.
Okay.
Holy
So,
shit. Last guy was too. Mother of fuck. What's going on?
Yeah, and
man.
Wow.
lastly, I run a ASMR YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They call me Doing Fine ASMR. That's me.
Okay.
There we go.
Gotcha.
I don't know what I would do then. I don't know. I'd be like, God damn, he's an excellent fucking actor.
It was me the entire time. I hope he sees
Oh
this.
my god.
Yeah, for sure. Holy shit.
Okay. Wow. Got
But
me.
yeah. Right now, I started acting just right before I started the iFunny account. Actually.
Okay.
It started kind of just for shits and giggles in high school, and then people started I started getting a lot of attention for it, and I started winning awards, and I was like, oh shit, I could do this. So right now my current plan is, depending on how my freshman year of college goes, because with COVID and everything.
Oh yeah.
Right now the current plan is graduate with my BFA in acting, and then head out to Los Angeles, bartend, survive, go to as many auditions as possible, starving artist type life.
Okay.
And,
Sure.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Holy shit. You're living out the life that I wanted to have when I was younger.
yeah, but hopefully I stay with it. I sure hope so. I don't.
Oh yeah. We'd love to have a I don't know what we'd call it, a future famous guy on the pod.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's already
Yeah.
famous as it is, but
Oh
you know,
yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's really fucking cool though. So is it more of the like film kind of acting that you're interested in?
Yeah, that's what I'm pursuing. I've done only stage acting up until now because I was in high school, and I couldn't really get around much because I live near Detroit, Michigan, but
Okay.
I'm not right in the center, so I wasn't really doing many film things. However,
Sure.
I can't sing very well, and so just finding jobs in just stage acting, just straight plays, is very difficult. So
Sure.
yeah, Los Angeles, home for film and filmmakers and fucking opportunities everywhere. So
That's
that's the plan.
I bet I mean, that's a good plan. I doubt that Michigan has many film opportunities in general, so.
Oh, no, especially because I used to live in the UP.
Oh,
on
shit.
The Upper Peninsula, so that's really isolated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, it's almost like the town I'm living in right now has just about the same population as the entire Upper Peninsula.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so the town I was up you know, it's almost all forest woods. You know, everybody knows each other type town. Perfect for, you know, scary shit. That's how I got into it.
I was gonna say
That's how I got into it, you know, because that's all they talk about, you know, all the freaky shit they see in the woods and things flying around. You know, it's great. But
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I bet, yeah. It sounds like nothing but horror stories ever happen in Michigan anyways, so
Yeah.
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 That's cool though, dude. But for sure, I mean, yeah, I know like with acting, I know that with acting, like it's definitely one of those things that you gotta really hustle for. Like it's gonna
Absolutely.
be quite the journey that you'll have, but the payoff can be extremely generous if everything works out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Definitely.
you gotta commit, you know.
yeah,
It's,
definitely.
it's full send or no send, you know. If you don't, you know.
Yeah.
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 There we go. Yeah. No, the doing fine guy, he was musical arts, I
Musical
think he said,
theater, I think, or
musical
something like
theater.
that.
Yeah, that's what he's going for. And
Mhm.
I think he's planning on more going out to New York, like for Broadway and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, well, we got. I'm amazed at how we found these two guys. Like, holy
I
shit!
know.
You know, one's going for film in L.A. and one's going for Broadway in New York. There, so son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Got the East and West Coast covered.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit, Burt. Look at us. We're like fucking like this agency like that recognizes talents and promotes them and
Yeah,
shit
I
like
know.
that.
Someday,
Holy
you never know.
shit.
See,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
No.
You know, if I ever get my big break, I'll make sure first people I credit you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll do a postcard
Yeah,
as soon as I get out there.
Yeah, just shout the living shit out of BurtnBurger so I can stop messaging my fucking like 8,000 subscribers on iFunny.
Yeah.
Holy
Those poor
shit.
fingers a break.
Yeah, no, dude, but yeah, no, that's awesome though. That you're going into that kind of shit. That's something that I was really interested in going into film for a while too, but I ended up switching to a different career, and I'm really happy with where my career is now. But if I ever had the chance to do any kind of acting or something, I would definitely take it in a heartbeat. So.
No,
it's-
yeah, I
it's-
get it.
Yeah, no, it's super admirable to see somebody actually chasing those dreams and going after it. So we definitely wish you the best of luck with that. But for sake of the podcast and stop being wholesome, we can go back to balls and wieners for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if we necessarily went over them earlier, but like, are you more of a myth legend or like the twisted personal stories? Like, what really gets you?
See, that's a great question because most of the time it's like the twisted, you know, personal stories that really like, you know, I read that and I go, holy shit, you know, this happens at, like everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I live in, you know, my town is one of the, you know, biggest human trafficking hotspots in the country. So, you know,
Holy shit.
you know, you like,
Okay.
you see stories of that online and you're like, that could be me. You know, I could go out for a walk one night and just, you know, never come back. You know, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
for example, there was this one story that really stuck with me. This girl, her mom was a single mom, and she started dating this dude from Romania. You know, they were dating for a long time, probably about a year. You know, he's getting included in the family. You know, they're moved in together, all that great stuff. Eventually, you know, he pops the question, he proposes, they get engaged. So then, I think it's right before the wedding, he mentions that they should move out to Romania and have the wedding there with the rest of his family. And, you know, it's full of opportunities, whatever. We can bring your daughter. And so, you know, she agrees. And they go out there. This is all from account of other people that the daughter told was
Mhm.
happening. And so that they move out, they get on the plane, they go out to Romania, and they're just never heard from again. And so everybody's like, oh,
Oh,
hey,
God.
they're like, hey, what, you know, what happened with that? So they start an investigation, and some sort of, you know, I think it's the FBI was investigating it, and they were basically just like, you know, there's really not much we can do about it. You know, reality of the matter is they probably got sold to some, like sex trafficking ring.
Yeah.
Some big scandal. And, like I read that and I was like, whew, like that kind of stuff. That is what really like gets to me. Like, holy shit. There are so many people, that especially serial killers too, that are so smart and so charismatic that just want to hurt people, and that's what really freaks me out.
Sure.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know necessarily what you guys are scared of, but recently I've kind of developed this fear. Yeah, yeah. I've kind of developed this fear of the ocean.
Okay.
Oh yes.
And most of that is because of things like mythology. Like thinking about going into the ocean and just like being in this huge unexplored pit of just fucking creatures and animals, whatever, is
all unexplored and documented.
Yeah, terrifying. Like,
oh yeah,
the fact that they're recording sounds from halfway across the world, and they're like, "Oh, look up! We picked up the sound of some fucking land animal water hybrid creature from 5,000 miles away, and it's the size of the Eiffel Tower because it's we could hear it from so far away." It's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just
no thanks.
Yeah, I'm okay. You guys do you. I will never do that.
Yeah, like even the shit I do know about. Like I looked up a picture of an eel yesterday, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to go in the water again.
Oh yeah, no.
Even the shit we do know, it's like, what the fuck is that? Does it need that many teeth? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Fucking eel.
Oh man.
Fucking iScare's talking about a goddamn monster that you can hear its mating call from 5,000 miles away, and here you are, fucking pussying out over a goddamn eel.
I hate eels. But no, really, like the shit
Look at them, they're fucking aliens.
The shit they find in the ocean is like, I think God got drunk and watched Sinister, and then just created some fucking shit like that. I mean, it's crazy. They're like
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I mean,
no,
even, like,
I mean
the giant squids and shit that are like the size of boats.
See, like that's realistic. Like that kind of shit. Yeah, like that can be spooky, but goddamn, way to just be a buzzkill, Burt. That I see why you have a black hole next to your name. Seriously. He's like, yeah, this big ass thing, it's got fucking teeth the size of a fucking car and everything. And Burt's like, yeah, but have you seen an eel? Holy shit.
That's cool. Have you ever gone swimming and had your feet touch seaweed?
Yeah. Basically same thing, yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. No. I mean, things that terrify me, like no matter what. I'm not saying these things are, scarier than a fucking Eiffel Tower sized fish, but I
mean, I'm not either. I'm just saying.
Like Daddy gets scared of snakes.
Okay.
That's completely understandable. Yeah. No.
See, snakes underwater that you can't see with huge teeth. Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bring that up after he just brought up a goddamn mile-long whale, you piece of fucking shit.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, but yeah, no, snakes really give me the heebs. And then I don't really know. I mean, I'm a fucking pussy, absolutely, but
right.
I feel like I can also take a lot too at the same time. Like maybe not in person, but like I don't know. Like I'll watch really scary movies that actually like terrified me, like Sinister, and just sleep like a fucking princess after it. So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, going back to horror movies again, like the shit that I find the most fascinating is usually the paranormal stuff. Like I find that anything that has like demons and shit in it, like I find that so interesting.
That's why I post about skinwalkers a lot. Those are one of my favorites to talk about. Absolutely. Oh.
Yeah, it's like fables and like handed down legends and stuff. I don't like that, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah, I think that shit's cool too. Like when they'll talk about like ancient Native American legends that are still alive, like in Until Dawn with the Wendigos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I find that shit like really interesting. But yeah, the paranormal stuff is really interesting. Like I really enjoy like the Conjuring universe. I think those movies are super dope, and I find them really interesting, and I like how well made they are, because it's like iScare was saying, like these horror movies can be really cheesy and not a lot of effort's put into them sometimes, but I feel like the Conjuring production is really interesting. There is one scene in there that really blew me away, was when it was the Annabelle comes home. I don't know, it was the first Annabelle, like not the like it was like the prequel of the Annabelle's movies. And there's this old farmer, and he's standing in this room, and this demon's in there, and this demon's like getting like 12 feet tall and really getting scary looking, and the farmer grabs a cross and holds it in front of him, and I'm like, hell yeah, my boy JC's gonna come through and whoop this demon's ass here. And then one by one, the demon fucking took the farmer's finger and split it back so the finger was like touching his wrist.
Oh God.
One at a time, and the cross just hit the floor, and he kicked the ever-living shit out of the farmer. And I was like, wow, no, I thought that cross was really gonna do something there.
My man JC.
Yeah, my boy JC was gonna come through and kick some ass, but I don't know. That must have been a counterfeit cross or something, because that demon just didn't give a shit about it. But
see, like I can watch stuff like that all day, but as soon as I see a spider run across my wall, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm so gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm like that with snakes. And then the very last thing I want to say about horror movies is, you guys were talking about subtle things and how that shit can really spook you. I really enjoy when, how do I describe it? So like when the focus is on the character and you can see something behind them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not like the focus. Like if you're not paying attention, like you can't see the person there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that shit is so fucking cool. Like it's not gonna jump at him or anything. It's just standing there. Like that happened in that Annabelle movie where they went under the steps, and I was sitting there with my girlfriend at the time, and like the girl was like, the camera was like on her face, and she was like breathing hard and like freaking out. And behind her, you can see someone just standing there.
Oh.
And then she goes out and she runs away out of the steps. She never even saw the thing behind him. Like, it was one of that creepy shit. And the same thing happened with Hereditary too. I saw that the other day, where the son was like sitting on his bed, and behind him, his fucking mom was like up in the corner, like those demons that like walk on ceilings and shit like that. She was just sitting there, and then he never saw his mom. Like he never saw it. Like that real subtleness where they don't jump at you or anything. Like it's like, oh, if you don't pay attention, you won't see this kind of thing.
Yeah,
that
shit
always
gets me.
Like in this movie, there were so many frames, where it's super expanded, and the character's just like in this little corner, and it's almost like they're baiting you into like anxiety trip, just scouting the entire backdrop for any little thing.
Yup.
Like that was happening the whole movie. I'm like, where's the fucking mask, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Where is
walk past the screen. I fucking dare you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dogtooth.
Oh man, I cannot wait.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Burt to watch that.
Oh my God.
But yeah, dude. Anyways, this was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I was able to get someone on the show that enjoys the horror stuff more than I do, per se. So it was nice to have those conversations with you, man. And we had a lot of fun. So before we wrap up here, do you have anything that you want to shout out? Anything people can check you out at?
Well, seeing as I'm posting this on my iFunny, I really don't have anything to promote. But
sure.
Besides this podcast.
Oh, beautiful. If anything happens to you too, we'll be sure to let you know. Like I know my buddy Doing Fine, he got a pretty big shout out and his channel really took off. So like if that Instagram ever comes to play, which it should soon, seeing how fast your channel grows, we'll definitely shout you out. But to those of you that want to look more into iScare's account, it's literally just iScare on iFunny, all one word. You can search it, check him out. He posts some pretty spoopy shit on there sometimes. So definitely a great guy too. There's a picture of him on there too. He's a pretty good looking guy as well. So
thank you. I was wondering if you'd seen that. I appreciate
it. No, there was a video that you posted that you were talking, or somebody was talking really, really weird. I don't know if you're talking about.
Yep. That was when I hit 1 million smiles. I'm about to hit 2 million. I'm gonna have to make a sequel. I I did a parody
Oh, gosh.
of the top 15 guy.
Sure.
He makes
okay.
those like creepy like
Oh.
number 15.
Yeah.
Like most of his stuff is horror, but I fucking love making fun of his voice. So you know,
Yeah.
I did an entire bit on abortions,
Okay.
and it was just like abortion horror stories, and they were
Okay.
so dumb. It was shit like building a slip and slide that like brings the baby to a paper shredder.
Oh my god.
Shit like that.
Shit. Okay.
And so it's like 10 minutes of that. It
Yeah,
was just me
no,
fucking around.
we were really hoping that wasn't your voice. So
Oh,
No,
when
no.
when you jumped in the Discord and we heard you say, "Hey guys," we were like, "Oh, thank the Lord, seriously." we were real nervous about that, but I had to bring up your picture because I noticed you got a lot of good comments about how bangable you were from a bunch of males from iFunny. So, yeah, no. It's a
Beautiful
beautiful
crowd.
cesspool. I love it. So,
Oh,
but
yeah.
other than that, guys, if you really enjoyed this video here, be sure to let us know in the comments. Hit the like button and make sure you guys sub to the BurtnBurger Show before you leave here, just so you can see more content similar to the ones that you just saw. Burt, where else can they find us?
Yeah, we're also on Twitter at BurtnBurger. You know, I do little teaser clips every Thursday, and we'll probably end up shouting podcast out every once in a while, you know, stuff like that. Probably shout out iScare.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just more content from us, you know, so give us a follow over there, too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, iScare, we really appreciate you coming on, man. We'll have to do this again sometime, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, guys.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
without further ado, guys, thanks again so much for listening to this episode of the BurtnBurger Show. Episode 25, baby. We've been going for a long time now. So, we're almost at half a year. So, hell yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Nice.
fuck yeah. So, alrighty, guys. We will see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Yeah.